I was like,
I never give you up, never lose.
oh. Welcome back to the Odyssey. I'm Kas.
I'm Bryan.
And this is going to be our very late top 5 of 2017. That means 5 for him, 5 for me. And then we're also going to do something a little unorthodox with, because it's not really a top 5, it's more like a top 6, but not technically, I guess. But the reason for that is this is our first year. Almost. If we post this by January 25th, it'll be 1 year since we actually began, recording videos on this channel, doing reviews, playthroughs and things like that. One of the reasons we thought we were going to do a top 10 of the year, 10 for him, 10 for me, we realized that we wouldn't have a gigantic list to choose from because a lot of it has been Kickstarters. We're trying to make sure that this list is published and released in 2017. And one of the reasons we held off the list for a little longer, so there were some games I wanted him to get into. He may not have even reviewed yet with me on screen.
Well, a lot of the games that I play around the house, because I've been acquiring because the games I've looked at for a long time, and most of them in 2010, 2015, 2012. They're older games, but I mean, there's still games I love playing.
Look at my shelves. A lot of them are from several different years. Yeah. But and the fact is, because this is our first year, we also, since we didn't get a chance to do a 2016 list, even though we were beginning this really in 2016, we wanted to add at least one, in a sense, like an honorable mention, but one game that we absolutely enjoyed tremendously from 2016. And so anyway, I think, understand that we're trying to make sure this year, hopefully, we're going to play a lot more games. We've already played several this year to start with. And so this next year, in 2018, we're hoping that we're going to be able to actually do an actual top 10 list. But, we'll see what happens. A lot of the Kickstarters we reviewed and should be releasing this year. Yeah. So we'll see how that works.
I got a couple Kickstarters myself that I backed this year. Yeah. Coming this year, so we'll be able to do that too.
Absolutely. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the list. We're going to start again with our 2016 pick, kind of like I said, the honorable mention. Do you want to start with that? And
rock, paper, scissors, lizard spot.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Rock, paper, scissors? Are you not for every one of them though. Well, we'll do it for this.
Get
so
over
ready?
here!
1, 2.
Finish him!
You got
Monster kill!
Okay. Everybody's going rock.
So anyway, I'll tell you what, I had a choice personally between two games that I absolutely loved from 2016, and I honestly thought that it was going to be one game before I started really heavily playing the other, and oh man, it's still a toss-up. For me, they're equaled out, so I actually kind of cheated. And I put 2. For me, it's Star Wars Rebellion. Okay, I've actually got it up here on the shelf. That game where you are, you can be the Empire or you can be the Rebellion, and you can play 2 to 4 players or even, I think even higher, I can't remember. But honestly, it's just a 2-player game. It is a longer game, but if you want the entirety of the original trilogy, which personally is my favorite part of Star Wars, honestly, the rest of them, Revenge of the Sith, that's cool too. Revenge of the Sith's all right. It had its issues too, but Anakin wasn't as much of a crying whiny baby in that one.
He's an angry whiny baby.
Yeah, he was an angry whiny baby, and he was killing people. So there you go, a lot better, right? But yeah, Star Wars Rebellion is just such an immersive game. If you want to be Luke Skywalker going and doing different missions, you can do that. I mean, I'm talking about you're living through that, and it's like a game of cat and mouse in a way, because the Empire is trying to hunt down the Rebellion, trying to figure out which planet they're on, and you as the Empire get to use Death Stars. You can blow planets up, man, and they ain't coming back in that game, And so, and I love that idea. And the Rebellion's constantly on the run, some of the combat's a little fiddly, but I hear that the expansions actually fixed that, made it more streamlined. Haven't tried it yet, but that will be my cheap pick. But Scythe, that game has got me enraptured. I first played it with my friend Greg, and I loved it so much I had to get my own copy. I love this game being the fact that it takes place in an alternate universe, alternate history, 1920s, where there are mechs. You know, these old style mechs, not shiny and new, these old style mechs that look like old rust buckets, some of them. But I like the fact that it's like a hybrid game. It's almost like it's an area control, yet it's also resource management. You know, you're sitting there trying to get your food taken care of, you're getting your metal made, you're getting, your mining and things like that. And you're using these resources to create new mechs to get new armies, or I should say workers and things like that. Love this game. And I, so excited to play more of it. It's just enraptured my mind. And like I said, I'm excited to dig into this. I liked it so much I went and got the metal coins for it. I know some people think that's an anathema. So yeah, Scythe and technically Star Wars Rebellion. I know I'm cheating.
Coins in my pocket.
Shut up, man. I know I'm cheating on that, but I loved them both so much I couldn't help it. So half and half. Anyway, what about you? I put you on the spot.
Why do we even play games with this guy if he's going to cheat all the time?
That's the only thing I'm cheating on. All right, just saying. You hadn't caught me the other stuff.
So if he's throwing in 2 from 2016, maybe I should pull out one of the hat. So we'll talk about my 2016 top pick, and the reason this is my top pick, you're probably never gonna guess this one.
King Domino.
No.
Oh, you got to be kidding! I thought you liked that game.
Well, King Domino, we got a little discrepancy there because it was published in 2016, but it was released in the United States in 2017.
Oh, is there some foreshadowing there?
No. My number one pick for 2016 is OK Play.
In what universe is that?
Here's the reason being.
No dude, that's 2017.
No, OK Play was 2016.
Are you kidding?
No.
In what universe would you pick that as your favorite game of 2016?
Here's the reason why.
That game takes all of 5 minutes to play.
I can play it with my kids. I get a lot of.
Oh, you pulled the kid card.
It's just. Oh. My kids love playing that game. It's. I get to spend quality time with them. They're not all playing with their little gadgets. They request every day I come home. They pull it out and say, "Can we play this?"
Tell them that. Yeah, no fever. Just making sure. So you really are insane.
So I mean, if my kids didn't love this so much, and I love playing games with my kids, and I try to get them involved with more games, this probably wouldn't be on there. Now, however, if we eliminate that one,
okay. So your real pick. Your real pick.
My real pick.
It better be something that's thematic and big and grandiose and awesome and takes 3 hours to play.
Which one is it? Just go ahead and say it.
I don't know. Which one?
Terraforming Mars.
Oh, that's right. Why am I forgetting that? That was like your favorite game.
It's my favorite game, but
you better not be saying OK Play.
I love my kids, and that's the reason OK Play is there.
No, you pulled that card. I understand, but under normal circumstances, I'd be rushing you into the men with white coats, dude.
If I was
Seriously.
single, didn't have any kids, OK Play wouldn't even make the top 100 list.
I mean, it's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. For what it is, it's fun and it's
great.
Decent.
I like it because
I enjoy it.
My kids won't request to play it all the time. That's the only game. We've even played, Monster Trap. They don't request to play that very often.
Yeah.
But since I introduced OK Play to them, every time I
I thought you were rickrolling me for a second. I was like,
I never give you up. Never let you.
It's so stupid.
No, that's the whole reason.
Anyway.
But Terraforming Mars, if I eliminate everything like that, Terraforming Mars would be the top one of that. Just because the theme is there. I love the aspect of, I love my engine building games.
Yeah.
But, then you also go to OK Play, which is a tile lane.
Well, you're back.
Yeah.
You're back, actually. You're on my good list.
So it's kind of a split decision that my top two. My top one is 2 games.
With the kid thing, I completely understand. I really do. And if I had a game, well, actually, it's funny you say that because OK Play is what my kids request all that. Matter of fact, they requested it tonight.
Well, the thing is, we go out to a restaurant, I can take it along with me. Yeah. We can sit there if the table isn't crowded with all the other crap that they got on the table. Yeah. I can sit there and we can bust out. We all can play. Yeah. And so I mean,
that's cool. I mean, you're right. I would have never guessed that. Mm-hmm. Never. Not in a million years, probably. Yeah. I just That's so stupid. Anyway, I'm going to stop harping on it. I'm hoping your 2017 picks are. Dadgummit, the kid card is going to make me look horrible. Your number 5 for 2017 is
Queen Domino.
How did I know? I knew it, man. The minute we played it, you were like, yeah.
Oh, King Domino was on it, and then you add those other aspects, and then the point I kind of whooped you. Just really badly did for me. I love tile placements. It's right up my alley.
Well, you love Carcassonne, so I can understand that. I still haven't played King Domino. I know it's supposed to be a lot simpler than Queen, so I can understand that. I
love the tile placement. I love the upgrading the cards that you have, the red cards.
The tiles.
Tiles. I mean, you got the market to choose from. You got a little economy to kind of build up from. So, I mean, that's what really does it for me.
That's a blue-orange game, too.
Yeah, blue-orange, and that's the other part about that. Blue-orange has always got high-quality production.
My number 5, get ready for it. It's a tiny little thing.
Tiny Epic Quest?
That's right, baby. Now, again, I've heard some people say that they didn't feel the same way in terms of theme that I felt. This game, it feels like they were shooting for the moon on trying to make a game about Legend of Zelda without being... Yeah. Granted, it's not going to be the exact same game as Legend of Zelda. There's some aspects to it. It almost abstracts some of that out a little bit. But if you want a game that's as close as you're going to get, that I can tell, anyway, to a Legend of Zelda game, this game is it. I love the fact that you can go into the dungeons and you can actually acquire different kinds of weapons and artifacts and magic stuff. I also like the idea that you can travel by boat, or I'm sorry, raft. You can travel by foot. You can travel by griffin, horse. A lot of the stuff you're going to see in the Legend of Zelda series, it had that feel. It even had a look to it, and you can fight goblins. So again, it's more of a puzzle style game, really. In a way, it kind of is. You're trying to kind of puzzle things through and figure out how to get the most amount of points to it. If you want a game that's good, again, it's got some small pieces. It's tiny, right? It's in the name. But it ended up being a hit for me.
What you got for number 4?
Oh, you're hitting me with it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to lay that one on you.
Oh, come on, man. All right, so number 4. I bet you're not going to guess. I want you to... Okay, I'll tell you what. You guess my number 4. Come on.
That's your number 4. Wasteland Express?
Nope. You're wrong. Photosynthesis.
Could
you see that one coming?
I thought that might have been your number 4.
Oh, man. I recently got to play this several times. I got a review of it up actually recently. And I think the reason it hit number 4, because it's more of an abstract style game, but it's got a theme to it. And it's actually got a theme that color me surprised. I had no idea I would get into a game about... I
didn't bring those crayons.
Shut up. Or ink, hopefully. But I had no idea I was going to love a game that had to do with growing trees. Of all things, I'm not against trees. I mean, I enjoy going into the woods and hiking and all that good stuff. But I really didn't think I was going to enjoy it. But the fact that it has such an awesome point distribution system, how you're all trying to go to different kinds of soils, right? And if you're able to grow your tree all the way up to the highest it can go, and then you actually, I hate to say the word chop it down, but you harvest it, and then you score the points for that type of soil that it was in. That's awesome to me. And also the fact that you're able to work within the game, putting small, medium, and large trees out, and depending on size and where the sun is going around on the board, you can actually collect light points to use as kind of like a small economy to go into and plant seeds and grow trees as well. So all in all, a great game. I was not expecting it. Blindsided me of how good it is. Again, very rarely have I heard somebody say they didn't like it. So anyway, and the fact that my wife will play it with me, and it's just a good family weight game to me anyway, that I was not expecting. Photosynthesis by, again, Blue Orange Games.
All right.
So what about you, sir?
My go. This one's going to be. I don't know if you'll be able to guess this one or not.
I don't know.
This is Fallen Land.
Really?
Yeah. It's free range. You can do pretty much anything you want in the game. One of the best things I love about this game is the storyline behind it. Every card has a story on the back of it. It tells you how they got there. I haven't even got through reading all of them. I love...
It's like this thick.
I love all the cards. I love how detailed the cards are. It makes you get immersed into the game. So you can get in there and it's like, oh, okay, this is what's going on here. It's a classic RPG feel. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is. Mm-hmm. The amount of things you can go and do, you can battle each other. You can battle different factions that you find out there when you're going through the cards of the mountains and the plains.
Oh, almost anything.
Yeah.
Anything you can really do in that. Yeah.
I mean, the whole aspect, the concept of it, with it being the post-apocalyptic, it really puts you set in that theme. I love the fact that you can go and you gamble your money at a casino. I love the fact that... Which may never show up again. You never know. No, you never know. There's so many cards. I mean, we haven't even got through half the cards. No. I mean, there's so many things to go through. But the overall game is just... It gets you so immersed into it, you feel like you are in that post-apocalyptic waste. Yeah. Yeah, so, absolutely. I mean, it's a phenomenal game. I mean, the only reason it's sitting down at my number 4 is just that it just takes so long to play. It takes so much to get everybody together. Yeah. To get it done. Yeah, but that doesn't make it any less fun. That's no. I mean, I really enjoy this game. Don't get me wrong.
It's funny you say that because, for example, over at the Dice Tower, Sam Healy, his favorite game of all time for the longest time was Twilight Imperium 3, now I guess 4. Yeah. And he surprised everybody when he named his number 1 game as Blood Rage. And the number 1 thing he said was, it's not that he didn't love Twilight Imperium, it's just that it takes so long to play. And so he said if it didn't take quite as long and it wasn't as hard to get to the table, he would not have, it wouldn't have moved.
If it was easier to get to the table and easier to get everybody together to play it, I mean, this would totally be up there. My number 3. Were you ready for this?
I hope so.
Can you guess? You want to try a stab at the one?
Dinosaur Island.
Actually, you're right.
You're kidding.
No.
Dude, I thought that would be number 1.
No.
Or 2 at least.
It's my number 3. Don't get me wrong. I love this game. I love Jurassic Park.
You raved about it.
This one, I love Panda Express games. I mean,
Pandasaurus. I like Panda Express too.
But yeah, could go for some Chinese right now.
Yeah.
But the way that the indentions on the trays, I loved it.
Those games.
You got dinosaurs. I mean, come on, who doesn't love dinosaurs?
There's the obvious answer.
You got your amusement park. I love that you're doing the researching. You're upgrading your dinosaur park. I love the fact that you got all these little guys that you can come into your park. You get money off all of them. It really submerses you into the whole. Immerses.
Ah, there you go.
Immerses you.
Yeah, you trying to drown somebody. Yeah.
Yes, drown them with the dinosaurs. But it immerses you in that feeling that you're actually sitting there. You're researching these dinosaurs. You're actually say, "Hey kids, come on here. Let's come into the park. Enjoy it. See all these dinosaurs that I have here."
Yeah, you might get eaten. I mean, but no big deal. Come on in, check it out.
I mean, you got the
Jurassic World.
You got some other things in there where you can upgrade your specialist, and you can upgrade your park. You can upgrade your scientist. All of those, really play together. Mm-hmm. This is a great worker placement game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed this game, but there are other games I really enjoy a little bit more than this one for different reasons.
Wow.
But
I'm just still amazed it's even this low. I know we talked about it, but still. Like I said, as much as you were going on and on and on about it.
Once you find out my number 2 and my number 1, you'll really understand.
Okay, all right. I don't think I will, but we'll get there. So, what do you think my number 3 is?
Dinosaur Island? No.
Wasteland Express delivery service. Another Pandasaurus. Pandasaurus has been just rocking my world this year. But that game is post-apocalyptic in a box, but it doesn't give you like the fullest experience like a Fallen Land would, but it does give you it takes one aspect of post-apocalyptic action and theme, and it gives it to you on a silver platter. If you want to drive a big rig, like you've seen in most post-apocalyptic games, you want to drive a big rig across the waste, deal with raiders, take food and water and ammo and weaponry to people that need it. That's what I felt like too. I felt like I was making a buck, but I was also helping people at the same time, especially in those vision quests. That's something that comes up. But I really love that, and I really liked it even more. It actually rose higher. I was going to put it like 4 or 5, but it rose higher when we played the player versus player stuff in it. That's what really cemented it on my list. Yeah. And honestly, I could have seen this going even higher than it was, but my other 2 games up top just, I don't know.
I figured it might be number 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But I had a sneaking suspicion that it probably wasn't.
Yeah, this game just fires on all cylinders for me. Yeah, it had a little bit of just a little questionable artwork in general. The artwork in general is amazing, but there was just a few cards in there. But I could see so many different people enjoying this game. I'm so excited to have it on the list. I'm so excited to have it on my top 4 up here on my shelf. The top 4, again, are just games that I'm absolutely loving right now more than anything. Doesn't necessarily mean they're the top 4 of all time, but except for Blood Rage. Blood Rage is,
I think we should
Blood
that
Rage.
one off.
You shut up about Blood Rage, okay? Just because you don't like it. Yeah.
I think this should be a voting.
I really, you need to play it again with me because I will kill you. But anyway, you don't talk about my Blood Rage like that, man. But anyway, that's going to be my number 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasteland 3. Express delivery service.
So what's your number 2?
Are you going to hit me with this
again?
again?
Hit you. We're going to go back and forth.
My number 2 game. What do you think it is? I'm kind of curious because I think both of them. You just don't know which spots. Let me put it this way. Let me before he guesses. My number 2 game. This is hard because both my number 1 and my number 2 in my mind are equal, but for different reasons. And I mean, like, I enjoy both of them equally, but for completely different reasons. Right? So, what would you say?
I've got no.
Just take a stab. You already you probably know both of them, but give me the one you think is at number 2. Come on. You can. It's 50-50. It's like flip a coin. Come on.
Dinosaur Island? No, Dinosaur Island's got to be your number 1.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
So what do you think it is then?
I got no clue.
Oh my gosh! Really?
I can't think of what the other one might be.
Okay, it's actually Dinosaur Island.
I was right.
It was. And let me go ahead and give you the understanding. Dinosaur Island and my number 1 are, again, they're equal for different reasons that I like them. Dinosaur Island, it is a Jurassic Park game in a box. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's got the metal coins. I'm sorry, I know some people don't care about the metal coins, but I love me some clinkety clink love.
Those were nice.
Yeah, really, they're shiny. I just love the shiny. What can I say? Production quality is top notch in that game.
Go all Moana on us here.
I hadn't even seen that movie all the way through. Yeah. But Dinosaur Island, as you see, the artwork, some people had an issue with that. It's kind of an eclectic style, but personally, I love it because there's a lot of games. I mean, look at these other games I got. Maybe except for this one. This one's not so bad in terms of artwork and being too realistic. But a lot of the games I have a very realistic artwork. The artwork on here...
They're also a lot more darker colors. These are more vibrant.
Yeah, and it pops because of that, in my opinion. They're going for more of a 90s style. The fact that they had a daggum slap bracelet in there, and the having all the dinosaur meeples that you've got, and they're different kinds. Of course, we have the deluxe edition, so not everybody's going to have that. But at the same time, just everything in that game pops. Everything in that game. And I love the fact that it's got good worker placement. It's got enough interaction to keep me interested. I'm somebody who needs a lot of interaction in games sometimes. Mm-hmm. Just do. And it's got just enough for the worker placement to keep me interested. And then there's a cool market economy, the way that the market fluctuates. I also like the fact that, for example, in the Phase 3 round, you're actually doing your own thing. At one point, it kind of speeds the game up a little bit. And you're basically creating your own Jurassic Park and competing with rival companies. Mm-hmm. This game... It would have been my number 1 had it not been for one other game. And so this game is, bar none, one of my favorite games of the year, one of my favorite games right now as it stands of all time. and I can only see it rising from here. It has 1 billion pieces on the board, but really, that's one of the things I loved about it was the time limit thing. You can have a short, medium, or long game. I personally prefer medium to long. I'm starting to lean more towards long. I like medium. I'll play medium if somebody wants to do that, but long is amazing because you get the full extent of the game. So that for me is going to be my number 2. What's yours?
You'll probably never guess this one.
I still can't believe Dinosaur Island's your number 3. That blew my mind as much as you raved about it.
This one here, I like the production quality on so much. The colors, I just like the whole theme of this one. For my number 2 pick, photosynthesis.
Wow.
Your number 4. I mean, just
wow.
It's so different. That's what it
really
impressed me. It was like
that's what surprised me.
The artwork on the cover was just so phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, oh my, what is this game about? Is this like fairies or I mean, what's this thing about? I mean, just
it is an ethereal look.
If you cut out the photosynthesis, I was talking like, oh man, what's this about? Is that about fairies or like mystical arts or something like that?
Mr. Lord of the Rings. I did put Gimli in my review of it, so I can't help it. It made me think that too at first. Talking trees. What do trees have to talk about?
I mean, arrange your trees in such a fashion where you're going to get the sunlight as it goes all the way around.
Yeah.
It's just such a different game. And I mean, I think that would work well in my house. I just think that would go so well in my collection.
Yeah. You think your wife would like it?
I'm pretty sure she would. I talked to her, I showed her to her, and she thinks she likes the way it looks.
Amy loves the way it looks on the board.
It's just, it's so different. It's not like one of those games where like it looks like you're going out to kill anybody or anything like that.
Blue Orange is getting a lot of love on this little list here.
Blue Orange, I love the production quality on Blue Orange. It's just that the pieces are just so, I mean, well designed. They go together. You put them together.
Yeah.
Queen Domino. You put your little castles together.
Yeah. New York 1901 was the thing that really turned me on to Blue Orange games.
That one right there. You got
hit after
together.
hit with me.
Vikings on Board. Another Blue Orange game that the production quality is just so awesome on.
Yeah.
Blue Orange is just. I really like their production. I like a lot of their games.
Can't say anything better about that.
Photosynthesis, man, it's just. Yeah. I just love it. I mean, the artwork is phenomenal. The gameplay is phenomenal. When you first walk up onto it, you're like, how is this going to work? And then once you get into it, you're like, I want to keep going. I want to keep playing.
Wow, number 2.
Number 2.
You are definitely a guy who loves puzzling games. Mm-hmm. You really do. I can see why Queen Domino made it. I can see why photosynthesis. With me, I can't believe photosynthesis got on my list. Mm-hmm. So, okay. I'm going to hit you with this one now. You want to pull it down from my shelf?
You're so confident you know what it is. No, he knows what it is.
After you've been raving about it.
Wasteland Express, my number 1.
Wow.
Dude, I mean, it takes what I like about Fallen Land and puts it into a little shorter of a game. And, I mean, just post-apocalyptic. I mean,
that thing
Mad Max, Road Warrior, all the way.
Yeah.
I love it. You're delivering stuff, you're going through there, you're battling. The board can change up
modular
every time you play it. It could be your things are in different spots, so you have to figure out a different strategy how to get to those things.
Yeah.
The economy, I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, you sell something, it goes down in price because nobody needs it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love this game. I get into it, and the whole world could just vaporize behind me, and I don't care.
And he's not kidding. I think you said that on the review. You were basically like, I wasn't even looking at the time when we played it. We were playing like almost 3 hours.
She's calling? Just keep playing.
Don't tell your wife that. Yes, I'll edit that.
But no, that game just grabbed me. And there's the organization in it. You had all those little modular piece things where you put all your pieces into it. Mm-hmm. I love that aspect. I wish more game designers would do that with their product, make it easier. I'm just an organization.
Oh, you're talking about the game trays?
The game trays.
The custom
game
inserts,
trays are
man.
freaking phenomenal.
Man,
I mean, it keeps track of everything easily.
I have to agree.
All the boards, except for your player boards, were all reversible. You spill something on it,
the player boards aren't?
Player boards aren't, no.
Oh, I must not have noticed. Okay. For my number 1 This is a game. Let me give the premise. This is a game I didn't see coming. I didn't expect to come into our office at all. I mean, and when this company contacted me and says, "Hey, man, we want y'all to take a look at this game. We want to send it your way," I was going, okay. And when he told me how long it might be, it's an hour per player. I'm sitting here going, boy, we need to make sure we've got some people together to play this game because we want to give it, our best review that we can. We want to make sure we hit as many, all the ins and outs of it. It's Fallen Land post-apocalyptic board game by Fallen Dominion Studios. This is an up-and-coming company that they spent 13 years on this game. Mm-hmm. As much as you raved about it, I thought it would be higher. I thought it would be at least 3 or 2.
It's just something I can't get to the table that often.
No, and I get that.
If I could,
I get that.
Don't get me wrong. This would jump all the way up to the top.
Yeah, this is one of the most. I jokingly, but really half seriously, call it a Twilight Imperium with the post-apocalyptic edition. Now, granted, there's some seriously big differences between them, obviously, not just in theme, but I'm talking about when you're talking about if anybody says anything about Twilight Imperium, they're saying immersion, the amount of player interaction, the way that you build up your own systems and things like that. In this game, you're building up your own town. You're actually modding your town with different kinds of technologies and resources. Mm-hmm. You're going out into the waste. I don't remember how many cards, like 600 cards or something. So many. And it's just text upon text upon text. It's narrative driven. It's one of the most narrative driven games I've ever seen outside of a straight RPG.
I love that about that, but like I said, it's just something that can't get to the table.
On the box it says about an hour per player. The game definitely, if you get to knowing what you're doing, you could definitely cut that time down a little bit. But I'll be honest with you, I almost put it at my number 2. It's not because I'm thinking Dinosaur Island's that much of a better game. It's because it is easier to get to the table. That's just a fact. This is a game that I've heard reports and stories of people that don't that like simpler games that can get into this game and have gotten into the game and really enjoyed it. But with just the people, some of the people I know, it is easier to get some of the other games to the table. That's just a fact. But when you get into this game, you're going into it to enjoy something like you've never really experienced before in terms of the world. The fact that we found a casino, and you might not be able to find. You might not find that again in like 10 games. But the fact that the world is like a sandbox. It's a living, breathing world. You're running into marauders. You're running into mutants. I had kids beat the crap out of my party one time because you're building a party up and sending them out, and you're giving them weapons and gosh, you can't find any kind of vehicle you want. We found laser rifles, axes or whatever we found. There's this narrative decks, I guess, are like that thick. I mean, it is a ton of cards in this game. And the spoils cards you can find. We found the board game in the game one time.
That was pretty funny.
This game is one that I think so many people should try. It's not for everybody. That's honest. I'm being honest about that. But it definitely is. If you love immersion to the core. If you love
RPG, this is something you definitely should take a look at.
Yes, if you like that kind of stuff. We got a guy who... He's one of the guys that actually played it. Greg played it. Scott played it. But Scott has taken this now, and he's been asking to borrow my copy because he has, I think, 1 or 2 groups that want to play this because they're a bunch of RPGers, and some of them are not RPGers, and they still want to try it because it sounds amazing to them. That post-apocalyptic thing. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on. We have a review up of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, what a list. A lot of surprises for me, actually, for your list. I really didn't think that certain games were going to be where they were. I thought Wasteland actually might even be 2.
2?
Yeah.
What did you think my number 1 should have been? Fallen Land?
I thought it might be that. I thought it might be that or Dinosaur Island, actually, because of how much you fell in love with Dinosaur Island.
I really struggled with the list. I mean, I've been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what placement I wanted everything.
Yeah.
And it's just, it had to do with how often can I get this to the table? How much do I enjoy it? Like with the one from 2016, OK Play, is that only, like I said, the only reason is because of my kids. They ask to play it all the time.
He's a family man like me, so I get that. I really do.
I mean,
that's commendable.
There are a couple of the games this year that if I could have got a hold of them and played them, things might have been different.
Yeah.
I can mention them. I would say Fallout. I'd love to get a hold of Fallout and play that. Then my whole list would be nothing but post-apocalyptic games.
That's true. Man, that has really been the theme this year. Yeah. Well, again, this is our first time doing this. This is our first year, 1 year down, man. Can you believe we've been doing this now a year?
And that is just
it's
gone
amazing.
by so fast.
Yeah, it really has. It feels
so many games.
Yeah, it really has, and I'm really excited about what's coming out in 2018. But again, hopefully this next year we'll be able to actually do an actual top 10 each. But again, this first year, we got to have resources. We got to have the games, and some we weren't able to get. Some we just weren't able to play. Yeah. But we really wanted to give y'all something that we thought was fun, and we really hope you enjoyed it. Again, appreciate y'all sticking around for the ride. It's been a fun ride for us. We couldn't do this without you guys. Y'all really do make up the support that we need to do this, because it encourages us to keep doing it. And after 1 year, I've made some great friends, and I feel like just even deeper nets to some extent to some people. I've made great friends in this, made great connections in this. I've met some wonderful people in this hobby, and really this is all about y'all. I mean, this is about all of us together enjoying this, not just about me and him.
Yeah, I mean, this is about bringing these games to y'all, so you have an understanding what these games are about before you go out and buy them and realize, hey, I really hate this game, or hey, I really love this game. Why didn't I know about this sooner?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all about helping y'all, or helping everybody out there find these games, find what's best about them, because two people talking about it is better than one person saying, hey, go check this game out.
Yeah, and I promise we're friends. We've known each other about almost 20 years now, and we've been friends for a long time, and if we disagree, we're not hating each other. We just, have disagreements like anybody, and, we're still great friends after this. His kids are going to play with my kids and stuff like that.
Watch them every weekend.
Yeah, because of my job. But the fact is that we love doing this, and again, we really can't do it without you. So you guys have helped make this possible. So anyway, thank you so much again for watching our top 10, or top 5, I should say. Top 6 or 7 for me, because I had to.
Yeah, but I had to pull one out of right field.
And so anyway, please like and subscribe, and the more subscriptions we have, the more it encourages us to keep going. So we appreciate everybody who does that. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm Kas.
I'm Bryan.
And you've been watching the Dice Odyssey Top 5 for 2017, late as it is. Thank you so much. You have a blessed day.
And game away.
Game away.